Welcome to episode 3 of the Swords of Wizardry solo game. We follow the two monks, the brothers, Ikel and Quesh, as they travel through the jungle, and they are trying to make it to the coast to take a ship to go to another continent and hopefully deposit this mystical scroll that they've rescued from their temple when it was destroyed somewhere safe, away from the hands of the people chasing them. However, they've gotten themselves into a bit of a dire situation where they are now faced with 4 werebears. This is not good. So, if they fight, I feel like they do not have much of a chance. They are going to have to try and get away from this fight as quickly as possible. I might have to make up some rules for that. However, if they do fight, then we're going to use Scarlet Heroes sort of combat mechanics for small parties, and it should fit just perfectly into this and without any issues. But even with that, I don't think they have much of a chance against 4 werebears. So let's get at it and see what happens. I'm Tristan. This is Heroes and Homebrew. Okay, so you can see I have a battle map here laid out, but we're not necessarily going to be using that because hopefully we can get these brothers out of this situation. I think as the werebears kind of come in on them, like growling at them, saliva dripping from their jaws, the brothers know they are in a dire situation that there's almost no hope of them prevailing over. I think they each have a ranged weapon. So a light crossbow. Ikel has a light crossbow, and Quesh has a short bow. I think as these werebears are starting to move towards them, actually, I'm gonna roll a d12 to see how far out they were. Five, so 50 meters. That is within the range, or 50 feet. That's within the range of both of them. It's kind of right on the range of the short bow, but it's still there. And the light crossbow, easily within. So we're going to roll initiative. If the brothers get the initiative, they're going to take that attack and they're going to run. Yeah, so they're going to take their attack and they're going to run if they get the initiative. If they don't get initiative, I don't know. This might be the end of the game. And if it is, then it is, and we're going to have to see we're going to roll to see what happens. Okay, so this is for the brothers. 6. All right, for the lycanthropes, for the werebears. 5. Okay, so the brothers have the initiative. They pull out their ranged weapons. Now, generally, let's see so movement and missile fire is in the same round. So I'm going to allow them to shoot and then move, just because I want to give them a fighting chance. So Ikel is going to fire his weapon first. Where are the lycanthropes? Okay, werebear. Armor class, 17. Oh my god. Alright, so neither of them have a to-hit bonus on their ranged attacks. So they have to roll a clean 17 to hit. 7 for Ikel. And come on, Quesh. 8. So they both frantically pull out their ranged weapons, their bows. Crossbow, poof, bolt goes flying off. Short bow, arrow goes flying off, just whizzing past the werebears, and then they are going to bolt. Now, are the werebears going to give chase, or are they going to leave be? What's the werebear movement? Move 9. These guys' move is 12. So these Quest and Cal are faster than the werebears, so they can move out of range more quickly. They should be able to get away. Are the werebears going to give chase? 75 or under is yes. I think it's probably likely, so we're going to say 85 and under is yes. 46, yes, the werebears are going to give chase. So they start running through the woods. Evasion. You know what? I'm going to quickly pull out OD&D to look at the evasion rules for this, because I don't have it memorized. Okay, so here is the Underworld Wilderness Adventures for OD&D. We're going to look for the evasion rules. I know I've used them a lot, and I still don't remember them, because that's just the way things are. So 1 to 3 is over 60%, 90%. So a 90 or under, they will be able to outrun. Woods adds 25% evasion chances and gives 10% chance of evasion, even if surprised. So basically, even though the werebears are giving chase, they should be able to outrun them easily. Okay, so there's not an extra 25% because they're not double the speed. But I'm going to say a 95 or under, because they have the 25% extra for evasion because in the woods, and they are over 60% of the total monsters, because it was a 1d4 and I rolled a 4, and there's only 1 to 3 guys, so 90% chance. So anything under 90 and they evade easily. That's cocked. Should be fine though. It's 43. Alright, so the brothers end up running out and evading these guys. Although that is pushing them, they're going to have to run in a random direction, I think, to get away from these guys. Actually, no, because they're not being pursued. Well, they were being pursued, but they got away. So they don't have to move in a random direction. And they were not lost. Actually, they were up here. Yes, I think they're up there. But if I made a mistake, I made a mistake. But so I think I forgot to move them last time. Okay, so that's the end of their day. They managed to get away from the werebears. They continue moving probably longer than they would have liked. They are continue moving probably longer than they would have liked, but it is what it is. So the chaos factor was going to go up to 8 because they were kind of in this precarious situation, but since they got out of it, bring it back down. It's going to stay at 7. Now, hopefully, if they can... Oh, I got to mark the day off. They have 1 day worth of ration left. They need food. So I think they're going to spend the next day hunting. Actually, you know what? They need to get out of this jungle. They're going to spend the next day. They're going to roll, see if they are lost. Because they were not lost last time. 5, they are not lost. They get to move out of the jungle. They finally break through the trees. They have mountains on either side of them, and they can actually see the sky clearly. And they've decided they are exhausted. They are out of rations. Did they find anything on that day? They did not. Random encounters. Please no random encounters. Come on, give them 1 day of nothing. And that's a 1 random encounter. Alright, let's go back to random encounters. Alright, they are in the plains now. They're in clear terrain. So we're going to roll a D100. Hopefully, maybe it's somebody that can help them. Maybe if they get a human or something that can give them food. Although the way things are going for them right now, I don't think that's going to be likely. That is a 50. Alright, so clear terrain, a 50 is humankind. Oh, this might actually work out well for them. Humankind, humankind, humankind. To 100. It's going to be something terrible. That was a 5. Got knocked over. 25. Bandits. Okay. Yep. Because, you know, why not? Why not bandits, right? We have to go to humans. Scroll down to humans. I think, though, the brothers are kind of desperate now. Normally, they would probably not fight if they don't have to, but I think they know they are running low on food. They need to be able to continue on, and I think they're probably, if it comes down to it, they're probably going to have to fight these bandits. Say number appearing 1d6 plus 1 or 1d10 times 30. Oh, that is if that's if you're in Underworld. Let me just double check that. All right, so doesn't say, it probably says somewhere else, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it. So it's 1d6 plus 1. I think probably 1d6 plus 1 is when they're actually encountered in a dungeon, and 1d10 times 30 is when they are in the wild. But I think for the sake of this, we are going to say 1d6 plus 1. See what it says here. Bandits are a roving group of thieves, sometimes organized into smaller armies led by more powerful bandit chiefs and captains with higher hit dice. For every 30 bandits in such a group, there will be an additional 4th level fighter. For every 50 bandits, there will be an additional 5th level fighter. For every 100 bandits, there will be a fighter of 8th level. Bands of 200 or more have a 50% chance to be accompanied by a magic user of 10th level and 50% chance to be accompanied by a chaotic cleric of 8th level. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to do 1d6 plus 1. Because I think it would probably be a small group in this area anyway. I don't think it would be upwards of 40 bandits or 300 bandits. Like, just in this code. Although, maybe, but we'll do 1d6 plus 1. So, 6. There's 6 of them. I'm just going to write this down on a card. 6 bandits. I think that the brothers are likely to fight these guys. I think that they can, at least if they can take down a couple of them, maybe the morale of the bandits will drop and they'll run away, and the brothers can salvage some rations or something from them. All right, so let's see. The brothers are surprised on a 1. The bandits are surprised on a 1 or a 2. Black dice is the bandits, white dice is the brothers. All right. The bandits are surprised. So maybe the brothers see them from far off, and they like sneak up, see them. Of course, brother, they might have food for us, maybe gold that we can take back and bring to a town and give to a monastery, or like disperse among the people. I think this is our opportunity to continue what we're doing. If we don't seize this, then there's a chance we'll die and not fulfill our quest. Mikhail is more thoughtful and takes his time making these decisions, but eventually agrees and says, as much as I don't like it, brother, I think you may be right. I think it's time that we make a move. This is fortuitous that we found them. There's not a lot of them. Maybe if we can get them by surprise, we'll be able to get something out of it. So they think they come up with a plan, and we're going to go to the battle map. All right, so here's our battle map. I think maybe actually, let's see, is there something I can... Okay, so here's our battle map. I think the bandits are probably huddled in camp around a fire, maybe. The 2 brothers are off to the side. And they have the surprise. I think maybe... Let me just take down the bandits' stats quickly. Alright, before this starts, I just want to test and see if it's their lair. Maybe it's their like base camp where they keep all their treasure and stuff. Maybe it's just 6 of them here. Maybe there's more out in the... But I want to see if it's their lair, so I need a 15 or less. That is an 11. So it is their lair. Okay, cool. All right. So if they win this fight, then we'll roll for the treasure after. But it is their lair. So the brothers are going to take out their bows, and they're going to take shots from where they are hiding, and hopefully they can take down 1 or 2 of them before they even run into attack. So we're going to use Scarlet Heroes. The way Scarlet Heroes works is for the damage, instead of the damage coming off hit points, it comes directly off the HD. So if they roll a 1 on their damage dice, it's no HD. If they roll a 2 to a 5, it's 1 HD. 6 to 9 is 2, and a 10 plus is 4. And they have what's called a fray dice in Scarlet Heroes, which is basically an extra damage dice that you roll during your turn. I'm not going to roll that for the ranged, but I will roll it for melee attack. It's like extra swings and nicks and cuts that they take. Okay, so we're going to roll d20. I think Kel and Quesh are going to attack Bandit 1, and actually we'll do Bandit 6. So this is, Kel is going to attack Bandit 1. He needs a 12 to hit. 18 hits. And his damage on his light crossbow is a 1d4 plus 1. Remember, if he only rolls a 1, well, he'll get 2, so he'll do 1 HD. So that's a 4 plus 1 is a 5, and that kills him. So his arrow just pulls out his crossbow, arrow just flies through the guy's neck. He's like, oh, hits the ground. Quesh hopefully gets a good roll like that as well. It's a 10. His arrow goes flying past, and now the bandits know that they're there, but because for movement, the brothers are going to close the distance. And now we roll initiative. So, black is bandits, white is the brothers. Brothers have initiative. I'll move them just right there. Alright, Kel is going to attack with his longsword. Gets a +1 to attack. +1 to hit. So that is 19. That's 20 to hit. So easily 1d8. Where's my 8-sided? 1d8 plus 1. Actually, let me double check Deadly Strike. Okay, so he has this. It's only for unarmed. Okay, that's what I thought. That's a 4. Hit bonus. Yeah, he has no bonus to damage, so that's a 4. A 4 does 1 HD. These guys are 1 HD, so that kills him as well. They are slaughtering these guys. Quesh. Hopefully Quesh can actually hit something this time. He's going to hit with his longsword. It was cocked. 17 plus 1 is an 18, so he hits. So 5 does 1 HD damage. He's dead. And now it's going to be the bandits' turns. I didn't write down what weapons they have. Alright, I'm going to say light crossbow and short sword. Just because. Okay, so we're going to say Bandit 3 and Bandit 5 each have light crossbows. So they are going to roll their attack. And remember, the monks each have a armor class of 10. So 16. So the way it works is the enemies, when they attack, their damage dice does actual damage to the characters. Comes off their HP and not their hit dice. So we'll start with this guy. So he rolled a 16 with a light crossbow, is a d4. That's 4 points of damage. That kills Ekel. Hopefully, if Quesh makes it through this, actually, you know what? I've already rolled it. If Quesh survives this, then the bad guys are gonna roll morale. A 1. That is a critical miss. Just like fires and the string of his crossbow breaks or something, and it's like, ugh. All right, so now they are going to roll roll their morale check. I want to see how morale works in Swords of Wizardry. All right, so they need to roll. The morale for the bandits is 8. So on a 2d6, I need, if they roll 8 or higher, so they flee or surrender, and if it's lower, then they continue fighting. So for number 3, he just dropped one of them, so he's happy he's going to continue fighting. That's a 9 for number 4. He is going to run. And that's a 2 for number 5. So he runs away. And now we go back to initiative. So Quesh is going to have to... let's put this on here. He's not dead yet. Maybe Quesh because he's going to be able to bind his wounds and bring him to 1 HP. So black is bandits, white is monks. That's a tie, so everything happens simultaneously. Alright, so Quesh is going to run up. And he's going to close there. Quesh is going to make his attack, that's not a d20. Phew, that was a terrible roll too. 17, so his attack hits. Well, plus 1, so it's 18 actually. D8. Maybe you could drop this guy, and then he's going to use his fray dice to hopefully get the other guy. So it's 6. 6 is 2 HD. So he's dead. And then let's roll the fray die, which is 1d6. I gave him the same fray die as clerics have in Scarlet Heroes because monks aren't in Scarlet Heroes, so I just gave him the cleric dice, which is 1d6. 4, which is another HD, so his slashes with his sword across the chest of the one guy, opens his stomach, he drops his intestines are all over the place, and then his blade continues on and slashes the throat of the second, who is also dead. Whew. All right. Quesh is going to run up to his brother, Cal, roll him over. He's going to rip strips of his cloak off and start binding his wounds. Let's see. We are currently at Chaos Factor 7, which is going to go up after this because even though they were not in control of that. They started off in control and then all hell broke loose. So Chaos Factor 7 on a 75 or more. He does not bind the wounds on 75 or less. He binds the wounds and brings... Actually, 1 second. Let's check out healing in Swords of Wizardry. If not, then if I don't find something that in the actual rules, then I'm going to use the fate chart and see if he can bind his wounds. Yeah, I think he's going to be just in time because it's got a Gary Gygax's house rule in here of you lose 1 HP below 0 every round that you're not stabilized. There was only 1 round since he got injured. So we're going to say that Quesh got there just in time, and he's going to be able to bind the wounds and stop the bleeding, and hopefully 76. 76. So as Quesh binds the wounds. He can see his brother is still conscious enough to pull out the scroll and hands it to his brother and says, "Brother, I'm not going to make it. You need to take this and get it across the sea. Keep it safe. Continue with the quest. You must leave me. The source will take care of me now." And as tears stream down Quesh's face, as he becomes the last member of his order, he watches the light fade from Ikel's eyes as he lies back and his life spirit leaves him. And that is where we're going to leave it for today. Wow, okay, so that was pretty intense. Quesh is going to have to continue on his own. We're going to have to search the lair. He's going to get some treasure. He probably won't be able to take all of it because he's by himself now. He has no mounts, no nothing. And he's got to get himself to the coast, and he's got to get himself across the sea. So, yeah, I was kind of... I thought maybe something tragic like this would happen, but I was hoping it would be much later. But this is what happens with first level characters. They took a chance, and they paid the price. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's pretty dramatic and a bit more of a story than the hex crawl, but it's getting pretty interesting, especially since Quesh is kind of more of a tempestuous and angry character from all that's happened to him than Ikel was. Ikel kind of balanced him out, and now Quesh is on his own, so we're going to have to see what happens with that. But I hope you join me next time. I hope you're enjoying this. And that's it for me. Save a seat for me at your table.